Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Glory here, the comforter storyteller, and you're welcome back to this channel. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for joining the family. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back to my channel. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate your comments and I'm so grateful. Today I just wanted to share something that happened recently to me, and God just gave interpretation of that experience to me some days back, and I decided that it was right to share it right now with you. Remember that the essence of this channel is so that I can share the comfort that I've received with you, right? So that you can be comforted too. Okay, so some days back, I was at home and on my phone with chatting with my husband. All right, so we're discussing something entirely different, and suddenly it just goes like, so I was home. Phoebe, my sister, stroke daughter, she was at home too with me because she wasn't feeling too well. She was recovering. All right, so I was just at home. I think I had just finished working, and most times when I finish working like that, I just sit and go on my phone to update some things on my Instagram and all that. So while I was chatting with my husband, it just goes like, "Pastor is coming to the house," and I was like, "Right now." He said, "Right now." And then I just dropped my phone and I screamed, "Phoebe, Pastor is coming to the house." That's how we started running everywhere. So backstory, most times when I'm working like that, I mess up a lot of things, like the ground is unswept, the tables are messy because I'm working, and sometimes there are plates in the sink. So that was that kind of day. So imagine how scattered everywhere was. And the previous day I had slept in the living room because I just wanted to. So and I left my bed there, like everywhere was literally a mess. So I just called out to Phoebe that Pastor is coming to the house, and she just jumped up with her recovery body. I don't know where she got the strength. We started carrying everything, arranging everywhere, mopping everywhere. We even mopped. Fam. We swept, we mopped. All we did, it was not up to 5 minutes. I can't say it's up to 5 minutes. Now we did such amount of work. Like we cleaned everywhere, we arranged, we set everything in its place, and everything was done. Like we're running a basket. It was chaos. I mean, it was so funny. I was laughing out loud that, oh my god, this is how it will be when Jesus comes. So God, I beg you. Like we're all just laughing. And by the time I went back to my phone, I was like, where is he now? My husband was like, oh, he said that he wasn't, excuse me, that he said that he wasn't going to come again because he for some reasons, apparently, he wanted to see my husband too. So since I was the only one around with my sister, I was like, okay, we'll be back to see both of us together. And I just sat there. I was like, Phoebe, why were we even? Why did we run around cleaning? And we just laughed over it that, oh my god, this is the way we're running around. Now we're not running around out of fear of, oh, when pastor comes we have to be prim and proper, but the house was so like scattered. Even the even somebody that is not the pastor, like just a friend, cannot come into the house and sit like that. But we were sitting down because of course we would later do it, arrange, clean, mop, but we needed to catch our breath and just rest and just just be on our phones. She was also in the room on her phone, and we weren't so concerned about the messiness. And the moment the call came in that it was coming, we had so much strength. We just ran around and set everything in order, and that was what happened. So it was days later, I think almost like a few days later, I was cleaning the house, and then it dawned on me that that's what the Bible was referring to in the parable of the 10 virgins. Some were wise, some were foolish, and then the understanding just dawned on me as to how the call came to them that the bridegroom is coming, and they arose immediately, just like the way we jerked up, and they were like they trimmed their lamps, and some lamps had already gone down. Of course, if you had waited into the night, for them they were actively waiting, all right, for the bridegroom, so they had a focus. For me, I wasn't actively waiting; it was just something sudden, and that's the difference between us and unbelievers. For believers, we are actively waiting for the coming of Jesus Christ. We know He's coming back. We're waiting for when He's coming back, so we should be more ready, all right. So they trimmed their lamps, and some lamps had gone out, which was expected because as you journeyed further, sometimes your strength will be weak, sometimes you might not be in the best position. But then the other the wise virgins, they had extra oil, and those other ones did not have extra oil, which is where I'm going to, and that is my word for you today, that you should build capacity and build strength. Like our fire that God has put on our inside should not go out, because the coming of Christ for us, it will be like a thief in the night. We are actively waiting for Him, but it could be sudden. And my prayer is that God does not meet us already or ashamed or not prepared. For us, it was like we jerked up, just like those virgins jerked up, and we started trimming our lamps. Right? Imagine if when we wanted to start cleaning up everywhere, we didn't have the strength, all right? We did not have the capacity. Maybe the broom was somewhere that we could not. So imagine that the broom was somewhere we could not access, or there was no water to mop, there was no oil in our lamp. We would have been handicapped. We wouldn't have been able to, actively prepare for the coming of my pastor in that case. So it just dawned on me that we need to always be ready, right? Always be prepared for the coming of the Lord, and not just prepared, always have extra oil for his coming. The Bible says that let our lamps be burning, and we should have oil in our lamp. Some days after I was listening to a song, Give Me Oil in My Lamp, Keep Me Burning. And then it just took me back to when in school, when the uni, when I gave my life to Christ. And I remember people telling me then that, oh, we will see what will become of, because when I gave my life to Christ, it was radical. It was different. It was a complete switch. I was a sinner, and then I was sinning publicly, like everybody knew. So when I gave my life to Christ, it was like this same girl. So it was like a complete switch. So people were like looking at me that we'll see how far this fire would go. And by God's grace, this is going to be in a few months, it's going to be 12 years after. And God has been faithful, not because of my own strength, but He has kept the fire, He has kept that same passion. He has kept that same burden in my heart to see Jesus revealed and Jesus glorified, and also to see that at the end of my journey, and I look on his face, I see the person that has loved me enough to die and who has been with me all through my journey on earth. So my word for you today is to keep your lamp burning. Even in night times, every time, every season of our lives, we'll be waiting on God for something. We'll be weary sometimes, we'll be weak sometimes, we will not have strength sometimes. But even in those night times when it seems like, oh God, this is a night time in my life, I'm not so strong. Keep your fire burning. A little prayer you can say to God, keep your fire burning. Regardless of what you're going through, let nothing steal your fire. And if you realize, I think I've shared on this channel before, that if you realize that your fire is not burning as it should, you can trust God to lead you to ignite, to people that can ignite you. That's why we tell people to, keep friendships where people can light their candles together so that you can be helped. All right. In my own situation, um, doing the work alongside Phoebe also helped us to get everything set quickly because she was able to help me. I'm also liking that to you, reaching out to a friend or somebody you respect or somebody that is doing well in the area of life that you are low on, and asking them that, can you help me, like reaching out to somebody to help, so that, and helping before it is the nick of time. Because at that time, when the virgins reached out, the foolish virgins, when they reached out, their foolishness was not that they slept, because everybody slept. All the virgins slept. Their foolishness was not that they slept. Their foolishness was that they did not have oil. And the Bible tells us that if we faint in the day of adversity, it is because our strength is weak. When challenges come, when we cower at the face of challenges, it's not because we are bad people, but it's because we have not gained strength. We have not learned how to keep our fire burning consistently, such that when we go through the fire, it doesn't burn us. All right. So at that point, all of them slept. But when the cry came, behold, the bridegroom is coming, everybody arose and trimmed their lamps, which means they were actively expecting. But imagine that at the nick of time, they failed. They didn't get oil. And when they went out to buy oil, by the time they came back, the bridegroom had entered and he had shut the door. They had run out of time. I want to encourage you to not leave your spirituality, your walk with God, to chance. Do not leave your spirituality to, oh, I will do it later. Oh, I think I'm beyond repair. There's no candle that when you strike a match and put it on it, it will not burn. As long as it has a wick, the moment you strike a matchstick and you add it to it burns up again. So don't leave your spirituality to chance. Don't think you are beyond remedy. This is God's word to you. As we step into July, make it your aim that this month I want to burn again. Like, I want to have that fiery passion in my inside for God again. It's not something that is exclusive to some people that you'll not be looking and be like, oh God, I wish I could be like that person. It is not God's desire that only a quarter of us is burning. No, that's not God's plan. It's not God's plan that only few people have passion for God. It is God's plan that every one of us can experience the beauty that comes to